Hello everybody, it's Hunter's dad, and I'm back in your face again with more discussion about autism. Today I thought I would talk about one theory about why autism exists. Is autism just a cruel joke that God perpetrated on humanity? Or is there some scientific rational explanation for why autism exists? Is there a reason for autism? And let me propose one theory, which I'm not being a proponent of, I'm just putting it out there for your consideration. And that is involves the genetic theory of autism. What this theory says is that autism is genetic, it's inherited, it's caused by a group of genes which in the wrong quantity or in the wrong combination creates the condition that we call autism, which, as we know, can be very dysfunctional. So the question then comes up, if these genes evolved in evolution, if they survived the evolutionary process, then why are they there? If these genes do something bad, why would they have survived evolution? And the answer is that, according to this theory, is that these genes are actually beneficial to the individual, that in different combinations and different quantities they actually confer some ability on people, and that in evolution those abilities outweighed the negative side of the genes, that perhaps the number of individuals who developed autism was small compared to the good that these genes did. Well, this genetic theory of autism was put forward into the popular press in a Time magazine article about autism in 2002, and one subsection of it was called the geek syndrome. And what it tried to explain was why there was allegedly so many autistic children in Silicon Valley. The explanation they proposed was that there were a lot of people who had sort of subsyndromal autism, who had some of the features of autism which enabled them to be excellent in, science and engineering and math and programming, and that these individuals got together and married, their genes combined, and they produced some children with autism. The problem with that is that I don't think it was ever demonstrated that there were an excess number of autistic individuals in Silicon. One of the people working on this is a guy by the name of Piven, P-I-V-E-N, first initial J. If you Google J. Piven, you'll find some of these theories. And he names this study, or these individuals, people with the, quote, broad autism phenotype. That's the scientific name for it, the broad autism phenotype. And sometimes it's also referred to as the lesser variant of autism. And how is he researching this? He's taking parents of autistic children and he's subjecting them to tests, to psychometric testing, to intelligence tests, to personality tests, to brain tests, like how the eyes track a moving object. And then he's showing, allegedly, that that parents of autistic individuals have differences from parents of, quote, typical individuals. And he says these features that he identifies serves as a marker or identifies people with this broad autism phenotype or this lesser variant. So this raises a central question about the evolution of individuals. Why would you have genes which produce disease? Why are there genetic diseases in the first place? Why can't we just have good genes that give us good characteristics and nothing that gives us anything bad? And the answer is that good characteristics are a trade-off, that you can't have both. You can't have all good characteristics and no bad characteristics. That, in fact, the good characteristics come at the expense of having a fault with those genes. Asperger himself proposed that it may be necessary for people to sort of trade social ability or be inwardly thinking in order to produce great thoughts. So he himself hinted at this genetic theory. Well, let's consider an example of why you can't sort of pack everything good into a brain. Let's take right-handed and left-handed. I'm right-handed. My right hand has very good motor skills. My left hand is a little more clumsy. Why didn't evolution just give us two right hands? I mean, wouldn't it be beneficial if both hands were very coordinated? And the answer is that evolution decided to use the right hemisphere which controls the left hand, for other functions. In other words, it gave up some coordination in the left hand in order to do other things with the brain. It decided that you can survive with one really skilled hand and something else going on in the right hemisphere better than if you have both hands. A society which has people with individual differences and therefore individual excellent skills is more likely to survive than a society where everybody is the same. So perhaps autism genes fit into that category of genes which produce exceptional individuals and also impaired individuals, but allow for a great deal of diversity within a population. So in summary, evolution decided that diversity is good, that it's better to have individuals who are very good at one thing and not so good at the other, and that will make a society better. And it may be that autism genes represent one example of that. Okay, everybody, teachers, parents, atypical individuals, I'll be back in your face next time with another topic. Okay, be well, people.